Postal Ballot. Disclaimer: this training material is for use in training of election officials. It should not be referred as guideline of ECI. In case of any variance in this training material, the Commission guidelines, rules, laws shall prevail. Learning outcomes. At the end of the session, the participants will be able to define the postal ballot, explain importance of postal ballot in casting of votes by the persons on election duties, know how the database of persons on election duties is prepared. They can cite how the postal ballot is casted. They will be able to explain that the postal ballots will be casted at the facilitation centers by the persons on election duties. They can identify different types of forms and formats. Also, they will be able to apply and interpret the various orders, guidelines, instructions issued by the Commission regarding postal voting. What is postal voting? Postal voting is voting in an election whereby ballot papers are distributed to electors and after recording of votes received back as decided by the Commission, in contrast to electors voting in person at a polling station through EVM. Who are entitled for postal voting? The persons who are entitled for postal voting are service electors, other than those who opt for proxy voting, special voters, the spouse of service voters and special voters, electors subjected to preventive detention, electors on election duty, and notified voters. Who are service voters? Service voters are the members of the armed forces of the Union, members of a force established by the Army Act 1950, members of an armed police force of the state who are serving outside the state, persons who are employed under the Government of India, posted outside India, example, ambassadors of India abroad or their staff. Their names are registered in the last part of the electoral roll. Classified service voters. Service voters who have opted proxy voting are called classified service voters. Classified service voters will not be issued postal ballot. Special voters. Any person holding an office declared by the President and spouse of the person. The example of special voters are shown on the screen. Postal ballot for the electors on preventive detention. The appropriate government or the authorities shall intimate the returning officer about the names and details of the electors on preventive detention within 15 days of announcement of the election. Notified elector. Any voter who belongs to the class of persons notified by the Commission. Color of postal ballot. The postal ballot papers and envelopes of service voters shall be of white color in all types of election. The color of postal ballot papers and envelopes for voters other than the service voters shall be white for the parliamentary election and pink in case of assembly election. Database of persons on election duties. Database of persons to be issued postal ballot shall be prepared well in advance. In case of police personnel, including home guards, the superintendent of police shall appoint a nodal officer to coordinate all activities related to facilitating the postal ballots. In case of drivers, conductors, cleaners, and other persons appointed on specific election-related duties by the police authorities, then nodal officer shall coordinate postal ballot facilities to them also. So all the persons who are in election duty like DO, Deputy DO, RO, ARO, polling parties, sector officers, micro observers, security personnel, drivers, conductor, cleaners, etc. shall be issued the postal ballot. Postal ballot and facilitation center. A voter on election duty who opts for the postal ballot shall receive his postal ballot, record his vote thereon, and return the same at the facilitation center as specified in writing by the returning officer. Application for postal ballot. Persons appointed on election duties can apply for postal ballot through Form 12. Form 12, along with a copy of appointment letter of the duty order and a photocopy of the epic card, should be handed over to the returning officer before the last date of withdrawal of candidature. Facilitation Center at the training centers. Postal ballot paper shall be distributed to all those polling officials who have applied through Form 12 on the second round of training. Voter list and drop box shall be provided for the collection of postal ballot from the polling personnel at the training venue during all training sessions. Procedure at the facilitation center. Candidates or their representatives can watch the process. The secrecy of voting have to be maintained. At least one Group A or Group B officer shall be put on duty for attestation work. Officer in charge of the facilitation center will issue the postal ballots and will prepare a register prescribed by the Commission. Voting compartment be made for maintaining the secrecy of voting. All the necessary items required for marking of votes and other materials required for postal ballots to be made available. Form 13A, 13B, 13C and 13D. Form 13A. The elector shall fill the relevant information and sign the declaration in Form 13A. Get it attested by a Group A or Group B or the presiding officer of polling station at which the person is on the election duty, commanding officer or the magistrate. Write the serial number of the ballot paper, if not already filled up, in the Form 13A. The format of Form 13A is shown on the screen. Form 13B. Elector to mark the ballot paper in secrecy, other than mark, not to sign or indicate other thing on the ballot paper. Keep the marked ballot paper in the inner envelope, that is Form 13B, and seal it properly. Also put serial number of the ballot paper on the envelope, that is Form 13B. The Form 13B is shown on the screen. Form 13C. Declaration in Form 13A and sealed inner envelope, that is Form 13B, to be kept in the outer envelope, Form 13C. Now seal the Form 13C. Put the sealed Form 13C in the ballot box at the facilitation center. The format of Form 13C is shown on the screen. Now we will see the marking of votes. So in the first ballot paper, the elector has given his vote to the alpha. In the second ballot paper, the elector has casted the vote in favor of lambda. In the third ballot paper, the elector has casted the vote for the lambda and the nota, so it will be rejected. In the fourth ballot paper, no marking has been done. It will also be rejected. On the fifth ballot paper, elector has put the cross mark in such a way that we cannot decide whether the vote has been given to the beta or the gamma, so it shall be rejected. In the sixth ballot paper, the elector has put the tick mark in the right way, but at the same time, he or she has also put his signature, so it shall again be rejected. In the seventh ballot paper, the tick mark is so long that it cannot be decided to whom the elector has given the vote, so it will be rejected. In the eighth ballot paper, the elector has written sub alphabets like YPS, so it will be rejected. The last ballot paper is mutilated, so it will be rejected. It should be noted that once a postal ballot is issued to the elector on election duty, then he or she can vote only through postal ballot, even if the person is exempted from the election duty. So that person have to cast the vote at the facilitation center only. Returning officer's facsimile signature on reverse side. Before the ballot paper is issued, the facsimile signature of the returning officer will be stamped on the reverse side of the ballot paper as shown on the next slide. In this education video, we learn about the postal voting. If you have any doubt or want any clarification, then you can contact through the mail as shown on the screen. For other videos on rules and regulations, you can visit the web address as shown. Thank you.